Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. It's a boxing talk with Rafi. What number are we on? What number are we on? As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's get into the sound check. Let's get into the sound check. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Let's have a look at this here. Let's cut the music and go. Where are we? Let's have a look at this here. Yes, excellent. The sound is good. Okay. So we got the sound. What's missing? What's missing? What's missing? Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh, uno momento, mami, slow your tempo. Let's just get a couple of things right. Let me just look. I'm just looking backstage. Something's missing. I'm gonna put that in. Okay. What's this here? Let's copy that. And again. And again. And let's fill in the blanks right here. Okay, so what we're talking about tonight, a few things on the menu. We're talking about Chisora v. Parker 2. Let me write that in. Let's get it in there so people can see. Parker v. Chisora. Let's write that in. CH. Parker v. Chisora. Okay, we got that in. Okay. That's one thing we're talking about. And another thing we're talking about is, Wilder. Deontay Wilder. That's a big one. Deontay Wilder. That's a biggie. And another thing we're talking about is, what's that cat's name? What's his name? There he is, Billy Joe. Billy Joe Saunders breaks his silence. So let's save that. What does your screen look like right about now? What does your screen look like? So let's put that in. It's all good for the analytics. Where are we? Yeah, that's that. And then boom. 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 Okay. Alright. Boom. Okay. I think that's all good. I think that's acceptable. I think we're good to go. Okay. Let's hold on. What's that title? Let's give this thing a proper title. Wilder says he becomes champ if. Hold on a second. People have populated the area. Let me drop the link while I'm. Boom. So that's there. Let's make sure that is in the. There is that. Let's make sure. Boom. Boom. Okay, that's there. Where the hell? Okay, anyway. Let me fix that up. Let me get rid of that. Let me get this in. Let me get the thumbnail in. Boom, boom, boom. What's the visibility like? Okay, that looks better. What else do I need? What's that there? What else do I need to do? Okay, alright, that's fine. Alright, bring this back. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So what's the title? Where's the title? Damn, it ain't done. It ain't finished. Put the proper title in there. Okay, let's go again. Deep dive. Where we at? The Leighton Evelyn is up in the building. Leighton Evelyn. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Uh-oh.
What's up, Raf? Long time no see, my brother. Long time no see,
but we're still here. We're still fighting the good fight. Here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Good to hear from you.
Raf, I've still been listening to your work, mate. Keep up the good work. Even though I'm not being in person, I still always watch it on the playback.
Good man, indeed. Something I need to do right now, and I think I'm going to do it right now. I think I'm going to put in a proper title so people know what's crack-a-lacking, and the title. Okay. Yes. Boom. In comes the man like the Iron Kong.
Yeah, Rafi, what's going on, man? How things, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. But listen, before I say anything to you, listen, T. White, a.k.a. the Fight Doctor, writes, Deontay Wilder is Rafi's favorite subject. Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not, sir. But if someone keeps on making bold statements, the Fight Doctor, interesting statements, bizarre statements, today's a bold statement. And since you're in here, you're gonna witness the making of the title, and the title comes from an article. Let me see how I minimize the words. Deontay Wilder will become two-time WBC champion if Tyson Fury pulls out, according to Wilder. OMG. We got the Sub-Skrilla. Excuse me. We got the Sub-Skrilla up in the building. Sub-Skrilla, what's crack-a-lacking?
How you doing, man? It's been a long time.
Long time. Probably a year or so.
Yeah, it's mad. I think YouTube's algorithms are funny. I don't get many boxing channels coming up in my YouTube right now.
Weird.
But it's good to see you. Good to see you still doing your thing, man.
Hey, man, persistence. You know, a weak heart never won a fair maiden. That's a Deontay Wilder type of statement, which has nothing to do with what we both just said. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm just showing my versatility. Consistency is what we're talking about, my friend. Consistency. So let me just get this title in, though, because it's kind of controversial. As few words as possible. Wilder, I will become champ if Fury ducks. Okay, you put that in. I will become. I can change it later. Champ. CHAMP again if Fury ducks. UCKS. I'm not saying I agree with that statement. It's not what I understand it to be, but there's an article with that title, so we're going to get into it. Anyway, let's go around the table and start wherever people want to start. Leighton, Evelyn, start where you want to start, my friend.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something now, right? Raph, it's like, I don't like Wilder and I don't like Fury, but I want Wilder to knock off Fury because I've had enough of his bullshit and he's getting away with everything after everything. Either one of them goes, I'm happy, but I want Fury to go because I've had enough of his bullshit. And if Wilder does it, he'll be the fifth. Sorry, Raph. He'll be the 5th heavyweight to ever do it, to lose his belt and win it back. I hope he does it. Either way, I don't like either of them. I can't stand either of them. But I've had enough of Fury and his boom. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally understand what you're saying. I totally hear what you mean. I'm gonna go to Subskrilla. Subskrilla, I'm going straight to you because I know you got a fondness, you got a softness in your heart for Fury.
To be honest with you, like between the 3 top heavyweights, Wilder, Fury, and Joshua, I'm not a big fan of any of them, and I don't strongly dislike any of them either. Like I'm really quite neutral on all 3, to be honest with you.
I think you favor the impression I get is you favor Fury. That's the impression I've always got from you.
No, to be honest, I quite highly rate Deontay Wilder. I wouldn't say highly rate him, but I've always I've enjoyed watching Wilder more than I've enjoyed watching Tyson Fury over the years, put it that way. And the reason for that purely is because when I've been watching him, even though 90% of the time he's going to knock his opponent out cold, every time it happens, he's still like, oh, I can't say the word, but, like hot damn, basically.
That's because they're bums, bro. That's because they're bums.
I mean, people can say they're bums, but to be honest, there's not a whole lot of depth in the heavyweight division compared to a lot of other divisions anyway.
No, but there's fighters that fight you back. There's fighters that fight you back. That's a difference. When a fighter comes in and he's willing to fight you back, there's a difference.
I think it makes it difficult for them, though, especially with his dimensions and stuff. I know people slate Wilder quite a lot, but I give him props because even all these guys, a lot of people can say they're bums, but you got to understand these are professional fighters that have been doing this for years and years and years. And if Wilder was as bad as half the people say he is, he shouldn't have any business being in there with them. Do you know what? But he's overcome the odds, so I'll give him that.
No, but it's like what you said, it's his dimensions. Because he's a big guy, he's so huge, he uses his dimensions. And his dimensions was carried him through it. Because he can't box. I'm sorry, he can't box, but it's his dimensions, bro.
Let me bring in Iron Kong. Iron Kong, come into the fray, if you will.
If anybody's wondering, this is Jojo Diaz with a duck bill, because I think Jojo Diaz is a duck. I don't care nothing about Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. They need to hurry up and fight and get this circus all over and done with. I think they clogged up the heavyweight division long enough with this foolishness. The fight's supposed to be soon, and I've seen little to no promotion for this fight. I don't know what's happening with this fight. I hope they do fight and get this thing over and done with. I don't care about one of these dudes. Both of them duck Femi, and I don't care nothing about none. Just hurry up and fight, and that's it.
Hurry up and fight. Okay, so let me get situated here. I was in a mad rush to get the show started. But anyway, okay, we started now. Okay, so sup, Raph, sup, Leighton. Shout out to Mr. Leighton Evelyn. What's going on? What's going on? Says the Iron Kong. Peace, invasion, Welshman, invasion, the Welshman, and the Englishmen. What we got here? Deontay Wilder is Rafi's favorite. So, well, no. I mean, he makes crazy statements. I got to talk about it. My friend. You know that. What else do we got here? Yes. We got the bronze plumber up in the building. What's going on? Okay, the Philip Carl Roberts, the fight doctor, are also up in here. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go straight to. It's a bit controversial, but we're going to have to go straight to it. Let me pull it up and show show it to you. Stop sharing that. Start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's a procedure. We understand the procedure. We understand. We think we know what would happen if Tyson Fury doesn't show up. A lot of people are asking the question. We have to address it. What happens if Tyson Fury doesn't show up on October, whenever, the 9th, 10th, whenever it's supposed to be? And we thought we knew and understood the process, how it would work out. And we think that process is, hold on a second, what's going on? I made it, yeah, hold on, let me correct that. I should have put, what the hell, where am I? Come on, too many windows open. What's that? Exclusive. No. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to my channel. It's live now. So what am I looking for? Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I want to pin that. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we thought we knew what would happen. We thought we knew that if Fury didn't show up, he'd probably be stripped or made champion in recess if he fails to show up again. But according to Deontay Wilder, he's got a different take, and we have to listen. We have to have a look at his take on the matter. Okay, let me scroll up. Okay, Deontay Wilder will become two-time WBC champ if Tyson Fury pulls out, according to Deontay Wilder. Let's listen. Okay, so Deontay Wilder has confirmed that he will, stated that he will become a two-time WBC heavyweight champion if Tyson Fury pulls out of their trilogy fight for a second time. The Bronze Bomber outlined that his side put stipulations in place once Fury could not compete in July due to contracting COVID-19. Okay. Wilder had to wait another 3 months for his opportunity. Fury would also have to pay. Wilder would have to wait 3 months for his opportunity, and says he made sure this time that the belt was on the line, not only in the fight, but if there's a pullout. Okay, that's interesting. Fury would also have to pay Wilder significant compensation for a withdrawal for any reason. Okay, these are Wilder's words. If he doesn't show up, he's going to have to suffer the consequences. The penalties have been set forth, he told 78 Sports TV. Okay, and he continues. If he doesn't fight, then pay me what you're supposed to pay me. Then you have to give up that WBC heavyweight belt as well. So it's a win-win situation for me, and it's a lose-lose situation for him. That's the great thing about it, because he's saying, he always said that history repeat, whatever. Tyson's training hard with new coach. Malik Scott Wilder has always been skeptical of Fury's diagnosis in the first place. I don't believe he had COVID. Okay, so we've dealt with the main issue, which is, according to Deontay Wilder, he has put stipulations in place in the contract that should Tyson Fury fail to show up, he automatically becomes, regains the WBC belt. And it's kind of crazy to me. But I'm going to start with Sub Skrilla. What's your take on that madness?
That's actually the first I've heard of that. The first I've seen of that article. But I guess it'll be up to the WBC, not Deontay Wilder.
It's intriguing to me, because this has come from left field. My understanding, like I said before, was that if Fury fails to show up, I imagine there's a groundswell of opinion that he would be stripped. I said myself that he should be made champion in recess, just to move things along, get the damn thing going, to possibility pave the road, a possibility for undisputed. So this has come as a bolt out of the blue. I saw it early on, but I haven't heard anybody comment on it. So I know it's probably going to come as a shock to 99.9% of the people.
Raf, no way they can put him champion. He's got to fight Dillian White, bro. He's got to fight. It'll be vacant, and he'd have to fight Dillian White, bro.
That's what I would have thought. That has been the roadmap as I saw it. But Wilder's come out. But I can't dismiss this. You can't dismiss the actions of the WBC. You cannot dismiss this. The Iron Kong.
Raf, there'll be murder if that happens.
You never could be quite sure what the WBC will do. We've seen the WBC to be, in my opinion, the most corrupt and inept sanctioning body that there is. The WBC would probably do it. Who knows? Dillian White currently has some case out with them, and they obviously would like Deontay to have this belt. They've done that for the longest while. They don't like giving him real mandatories, like as in number one contender mandatories. They bring guys up from number 5 and number 4 to fight over the number 1 guy. Let's not forget when Tyson Fury fought for the belt, for the WBC belt, he wasn't ranked at all. They ranked him number 4 even before Tyson Fury entered into the clean boxing program, which they said you have to be in the clean boxing program to be even ranked in the WBC. They ranked Tyson Fury number 4 after beating the best shepherd in Moldova. And so the WBC will do anything. So who knows? I mean, I don't like the WBN is what it is. I don't take news from especially that Phil J character.
Yeah.
But if Deontay Wilder said he'll be champ, I have to believe him. Him and the WBC have a special relationship. It shouldn't be like that, but
deep relationship.
I mean, it shouldn't be like that, but the WBC will do what the WBC will do. That's my opinion.
They never.
Yeah, and I agree with Iron Kong to a certain extent. The WBC, they do exactly what they want to do because their bylaws, they cut out anything to make sure that you can't sue them. That's why even with Dillian's case that he's got to go against them, their bylaws cover everything because they got sued before years ago. They covered it all.
Not if the bylaws are unfair. I have to just jump in for a second there. Not if the court finds that the bylaws are unfair. They can have any kind of bylaws they want. But if one court turns around and says, no, absolutely not. This is totally unfair. This is not best practice. This is totally lopsided. If one court turns around and says that, then it turns everything upside down. So they're taking a chance. The WBC are taking a chance with their unfair contracts. So all it takes for one court can overturn that, and then they're in deep.
Right? You're saying if one judge sees it as unfair, listen, I'm a normal guy from Cardiff, and I can see it's unfair. Anyone can see it's unfair. Anyone in the world can see it's unfair. But they've covered their asses on situations like this so they don't get sued. But I'm telling you, anyone can see what they've done to White is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? The Whites, if you get all they can do to him is say, yeah, he's your manager, that's what you're going to do. There's no way they're going to give that belt straight to a Wilder without White contesting it. No way at all, sir. No way at all, in my eyes. And I believe that White will knock him out. I may be wrong, but I believe he will.
Yeah, okay. Interesting thoughts. Back coming sub Skrilla.
Yeah, just an interesting point Kong made earlier. Before the first time that the fight was postponed with Fury's COVID thing, is right. I didn't see barely any promotion for the fight, from BT over here in the UK. Whereas before the second fight, they were running those little documentaries, the 12th round thing, all that kind of stuff. I don't know about stateside, but even now, it seems like there's been no promotion for this fight compared to the first couple of times.
They've started promoting it more now. They've got a PBC series. I think they're on the 3rd episode. Quite interesting.
When is the fight supposed to be?
October. What is it? October 10th?
October the 9th.
October 9th, yeah. 2 weeks after the Usyk fight.
Funny that is. Funny how they use Josh's promotion on every fight there is. Every fight.
Yep. Like clockwork. So basically, I think to answer your question, Subscrilla, I think the general consensus is that it was known by Fury and it was known by Bob Arum, the arbitrator who he's friends with and with whom he flew Fury to have a meeting at his home. They actually advertised that visit on Instagram. You know, they was going to have a meeting. They didn't say who and where, but we figured it out later on when we checked the dates. So it's pretty obvious. It seems pretty clear that the thing was orchestrated by Bob Arum, pretending that Wilder had no chance, duping Matchroom, the Zone, everybody, and then coming back and say, "Whoops, whoops! Oh, I guess the arbitrators come up with some bad news. So never mind. Okay, so the date's been set for July or whatever. They had everything ready within a couple of days. This is the date. This is the venue. Everything. Sorry, Joshua Low. Yeah, so it was all clearly orchestrated.
But then they blame Raf, but then they're blaming Joshua and Eddie Hearn, innit? Do you know what I mean? What the hell? Like?
Nonsense. It's nonsense. Anybody who, Lady Chan up in the building. Good to have you. Anybody with.
Shout out to Lady Chan. Anybody
who's followed the thing, know that it was orchestrated by Bob Arum. But the thing is, what I'm wondering now, the question is there any validity to this claim by Deontay Wilder that he will become a two-time champ if Tyson pulls out? Theoretically, it seems like Gabaggio, but with the WBC, hey, you can't write it off. You can't just dismiss this and pretend that it ain't serious. With the WBC, anything goes if they want it to go. Subscrilla.
Yeah, it's one of two things. If it happens, if Fury pulls out again, then it's either going to be Wilder gets it straight away, or they'll put him against White. I would have imagined.
Yeah, it should be White. It should be White. It should be Wilder. I mean, yeah, it should be Wilder v White if Fury pulls out.
I'll say this as well. I'm as disappointed as anyone that we're not getting the undisputed fight, but I will say the two fights we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks are really good fights. They're really good fights. I know people kind of huffed and sighed and no one really wants to see.
The problem with that, Subscrilla, is that they're really good fights which would have happened earlier without the messing about of Bob Arum, Top Rank. They'd have happened earlier.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
100% Raf.
Usyk, Joshua would have been fighting Usyk earlier because he wouldn't have been waiting for Fury. Fury presumably would have had to fight Wilder earlier, theoretically. So these, good fights, I agree with you, but they've been held up by pretty much a damn year by the Top Rank and Tyson Fury side because they've been leading the world, the boxing world, heavyweight world, on a merry dance. So good fights, yes, but 12 months later than they should have happened. Subscrilla.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with all that. I'm just trying to be a bit of an optimist, you know what I mean? A couple of good fights in the space of a couple of good weeks. And I just want to try and enjoy that. I was going to say, I know people huffed and puffed Wilder Fury 3, we really wanted this and that, but remember the first two fights were both really good fights. They were both really entertaining fights. So I just hope we get another good one, and I can't see any reason why we wouldn't.
Good point.
But what I say is, when you said they were really good fights, it was like for the neutral fans who didn't care either way. It was like you just wanted one of them to lose, and the first one was inconclusive. The draw didn't suit anyone else except for them two, and that's what pissed everyone off because we didn't get a conclusive thing. We had a draw, and that was like, to me, that was a shady. So they could do it again. They did it again, and they're doing it again. Do you know what I mean, mate? It's going on and on and on. Do you know what I mean?
No, I completely agree with you. It's not good when things get dragged out, and I just think at points the heavyweight division's been really, really, really dry, and at least we're getting a couple of good fights. I'd much rather things move quicker than they have done, of course.
Yeah, but like Raf said,
Iron Kong, please. Iron Kong's gonna jump off soon. Got kids to see. Where's he going?
You want me to talk about Deontay Wilder again, Rafi?
Just talk about whatever you want to talk about, brother.
We're
talking about the excitingness of the fights. Potentially, at least we're gonna get them now. At least it's gonna happen. We got Joshua v Usyk in September. We got we got Fury and Wilder in October, and then later, yeah, we'll take it from there.
Now, look, if all these fights actually happen, these are good fights. These are solid fights. The Tyson Fury Wilder fight, if that fight had happened soon after number 2 or whatever, would have been cool. I think the fight's dragged on too long, and Tyson Fury did what he did with Femi and all this other nonsense, and Wilder with his. To me, both guys just left. I mean, I already wasn't rocking with them before, but no, it's just, hey, man, just hurry up and fight. I'm good. Let's see one of you finally win, and don't you dare talk about a 4th fight, right? However, the fights that's coming up, otherwise, these are all decent fights. I like the Joshua Usyk fight. That's cool by me. You know what I mean? I like the White versus Wallin. Like, I see people jumping on that. I'm like, there's not a lot of people for Dillian White to fight. Like, he's fought pretty much the lower level under the top 3 heavyweights right now. You could say, you know, not including him. He's fought the lower level. So this is a good fight for him. It's a decent fight. If we're gonna talk about the Joe Joyce versus Parker, I don't mind that fight neither. With a decent undercard.
Hold on. Joe, you just said Joe Joyce versus Parker.
Not Joe Joyce. Chisora.
Chisora, he means.
That's a decent fight. I mean,
hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there. Thank you there. Anyway, right. So we have to talk about, at this point, we have to introduce what's happening next. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got too many damn windows open. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. So, not everybody will have heard. Not everybody will know. But Joseph Parker versus Chisora has been made. Parker v. Chisora. What's showing there? Is that showing? You see? Okay, damn it. All right, let me show you. Let me bring it up on the screen. We're keeping it moving nice and sweetly. Okay, where we at? Can you see? Yeah, you can. You can't see what I can see. Okay, you can see it on your screen. That's what's up. Parker v. Chisora 2 has been made. Let's talk about that, and we can tie the both things in together in a second. Okay. Iron Kong, please talk to me about Parker v. Chisora 2.
I mean, you know, I thought Derek Chisora got hard done in the first fight. I thought it was a good fight for me. I mean, one of the things that boxing fans got to realize, okay, these guys got to fight somebody, and they're fighting each other, and that's fine by me, okay? Joseph Parker is a guy who, I don't know, if he loses against Chisora, I think Joseph Parker might need to retire. You know what I'm saying? Because I think this guy has regressed so much. Yeah. Like, he's gone completely backwards. Yeah. You know, so this is a fight, in my opinion, more so for Joseph Parker than Derek Chisora, right? You know, and people keep, like, boxing fans gotta realize, like, you know, these fights are going to happen. All fights are not going to be AJ versus Usyk or AJ versus Wilder or whatever. You need to have the lower level heavyweights fighting each other too, right? So that's gonna happen. So these two are gonna fight. It's not on pay-per-view. Just watch it on the zone and be cool. If a decent undercard comes with it, I'm cool with it, right? It's part of my subscription. These fights will happen. You're not always going to get the A++ fights. We already know the A++ fights are so hard to make anyway. So I like to see the other heavyweights fight. I like to see them get it in too. So I don't mind this fight. I like the first fight. I got Chisora winning this fight, and I got Joseph Innocent Parker retiring.
Woo! Woo! Sub Skrilla.
Yeah, it's a decent fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it rerun. I don't see either of them doing too much else in the meantime.
Parker could have accepted Joe Joyce's invitation to fight for the IBF final eliminate.
Yeah, that's true. That's another fight I wouldn't have minded seeing, to be honest with you. Obviously Chisora ain't. I hope he hasn't got too many fights left, because I know he'll keep going, but we've seen him take a lot of damage in a fair few of his last few fights, and I don't like to see people going on too long. I think he's done well for himself. I think he's got enough money. He hasn't really got too much else to prove.
I agree with that.
He's basically done his job as a gatekeeper.
Yeah, gatekeeper who beat Joseph Parker, in my opinion.
And that's what Parker might ultimately end up becoming, just another gatekeeper if he doesn't. I think I want to see a more spiteful side to him. Do you know what I mean?
We've had plenty of time.
That wants to hurt people.
We've had ample time to see it, but it ain't happened.
Yeah, because he's got good boxing ability. He's got a very, very good chin.
Yeah.
But he seems to kind of step up. He seems to be hesitant to hurt people. Like, I don't know if he is, but that's you know what I mean?
He seems to be hesitant to get hurt himself, though. Come on. The chin's so good, but he seems risk averse. So it's not just
he don't open up. He won't open up.
It's not just other people he's concerned about hurt. It's not just other people he's concerned about hurting. He seems to be concerned about getting hurt himself. Man's too risk averse. Man is too risk averse.
Yeah.
Look how many years we've been watching him and waiting for something to happen. And every time he has a fight, that there's people talking about it should be a rematch. There should be a rematch with Ruiz. There should be a rematch with Takan. There should be a rematch with Dillian White. Now there should be a rematch with Chisora, which to me is a total waste of time. When he had the option to fight Joyce, it's where does this fight take? Leighton Evelyn, over to you.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, if you can't beat Chisora, you shouldn't be world champion. Because in my eyes, you've got world champion and you've got Chisora just below there. And we all know he never beat Chisora. So, and even when he had fought Andy Ruiz, he lost Andy Ruiz in that fight. Sorry, he lost Andy Ruiz because he was home and he had the home cooking. It made him world champion. He should have never been world champion. He's not world champion status, mate. He's overhyped. He can box. I'm not going to give it to him, but he won't trade. He won't go in there. He's like that. That's why he made the Joshua fight look so bad, because he was too scared. So Joshua just thought, well, I'll keep you away. And when he's gone in, he's grab, and everyone blamed Joshua. No. He's not good enough, mate. He's just not there. Because to me, you got world level, then you got just below there, and you got to think, what's his order? 38 years of age, and he's just below that. He's the gatekeeper. If you can beat Chisora, you've got a chance of being world champion. That's why I'm saying Usyk beat him. Usyk beat him fair and square. He's got a chance of being world champion. All this stuff that everyone knocks Usyk for. Listen, if you know boxing, you'll appreciate Usyk. That's why I'm going to this Joshua fight, because I'm scared Joshua can lose. Because this guy can box. And I mean can box. All right, he don't hit like the big heavyweights, but he can box, mate. And that's the thing. It's like when you get to a certain level, it's skill carries you through, bro. And there's a difference between skill and power.
Wilder and Fury ducking the real heat in the heavyweight division. Man like Joshua, man like White, man like Usyk, Leighton Evelyn.
100%, Raf, 100%, because that's what makes you to get up to the grade to be world level. And these boys, they never went through that.
One second. I'm stepping away for a minute. So after Leighton, Iron Kong, and then sorts it out yourself. I'm back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. What I'm saying is, like, when it gets to like world level, like it's a thing. Joshua's gone right the way through. He's fighting all these ones that are just fringe world levels. He's fighting them and he's beating them. But when Fury don't fight none of them, Wilder don't fight none of them, they're just having this made up 1 and 2. And how 1 and 2 got put into it, I don't know. I don't know how this ring bell come into 1 and 2. When Fury been sat in his ass for like 3 years, comes out, and all of a sudden he's number 2. When Joshua's been holding the belt, so how I don't know. That Ring Magazine belt should have never been on the line in my eyes. But it's not fair. Joshua's fighting everyone that comes up, all the tough fights, the contenders, the ones you can lose to, the slippery fights, the ones that can beat you. Joshua's fighting. Nah, not those two. Those two ain't doing it. And I'm telling you, if you can beat Chisora, then you're ready to go up to the next level. And that's what he is. That's why over here we love him. We know if you put Chisora in a fight, you're going to have a brawl. You're going to have a punch-up. You've got to have a punch-up to get in there with Chisora. And Parker can't do it. We all know Parker lost that fight. Why they're having a second one, I agree with Raf. I don't know. I don't know. He weren't conclusive. And it was in our country, and Parker still had the home baking. Oh, I don't know. I understand. I don't know. But like that's me. I'm just like, do you know what I mean? But it's not fair. Oh, Joshua got to keep fighting on. They want him to slip every time. They're saying, fight this guy, fight this guy, fight this guy. They're all the tough ones you'll slip on. All the ones you'll slip on. And who's Fury fighting to slip on? Who's Wilder fighting to slip on? No one. Those two been holding up the division for years. That's why I'm done out here. I'm done out here. One of them goes, I don't care. Like, do you know what I mean?
My turn?
Yeah, over to you, Iron Kong, bro.
No. Well, in terms of them ducking the heat, well, we've seen both of them turn down fights with Femi. What are we talking about? We've seen Deontay, what I say, he's not gonna fight Dillian White. So I mean, we know they've ducked both of them dudes, right?
It's all the others, Iron Kong. It's all the fringe fighters. You know, they're like the number 3s and 4s. They don't fight them.
Right. So in terms of, I think I got a reply to Ahab's comment about the fight is pointless. Not all of these fights sometimes, lead you to a title. You know what I mean? I think this fight is basically a fight that could be made at a decent price. It's two lower tier heavyweights that are looking for something. The first fight was unresolved in my eyes. I thought Chisora won that fight. If Joseph Parker wins the fight, he's number 4, I think, in the IBF. And I think he should fight Hrgovic, since Hrgovic is being ducked by the entire IBF sanctioning body, which is absolutely crazy. Because I don't think Hrgovic is nothing special, right? In terms of Joe Joyce fighting one of these guys, Joe Joyce needs to sort it out with Frank Warren. Joyce is number 1 in the W. Like, he's going to be the mandatory after Usyk, so he's going to hold his position. So this is a fight that was there to happen, and it happened, right? Sometimes you just got to chill, enjoy the fight that's there, and don't overthink it. Sometimes none of these two guys are in no direct line for no title, not one. Right? So they just fight amongst themselves, make a couple dollars, entertain me and you, just enjoy the fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion on that, man. It ain't much. So go ahead, Sub Skrilla. My bad, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it would have been better to see one of them face a Joyce or a Hrgovic, because we want to see one of them coming through against a seasoned gatekeeper. Chisora's always in entertaining fights, though. Like we were saying about Parker being too tentative a lot of the time, Chisora always stands, trades. He just doesn't give a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, doesn't give one of them.
100%, brother.
Yeah. You got anything else to say on that, Subscriber?
Nah, I just want to get into AJ Usyk badly.
Okay. Ask and it shall be delivered. But first, let me give my pronouncement, my thoughts, my observations about this fight here, Parker v. Chisora. I am on record. We covered it over here live, I believe, and I said at the time that I had Chisora winning on my scorecard, but then I had to do a video on it. Excuse me, I had to do a video on the topic, and for that, I slowed the thing down just a little bit while I was figuring out what part I wanted to use for the Chisora Parker fight. And then something happened. I realized that Parker was missing with a hell of a lot of shots which we may have previously thought landed. That's one thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that Chisora was landing with a lot of shots that we thought may have missed. And so that only reconfirmed, strengthened my position that I believe Chisora was the rightful winner of that fight. And let's not forget, 2 judges. One judge scored it for Chisora by 2 rounds. The other judge scored it for Parker by 2 rounds. And this weirdo Polish judge, don't know why they brought him over here, flew him over, scored it for
weirdo Polish.
scored it for Parker by something like 8 rounds, 8 or 9 rounds. It was totally and utterly bizarre and preposterous and outlandish. And it had me asking the question, is Parker Chisora level? Is Chisora Parker level, or is Parker Chisora level? And I can't figure it out. But one thing, I think it was it Subscriller? Was it you that said that it looks like Parker now is coming up to replace Chisora as the heavyweight gatekeeper, UK side?
Yeah, potentially, because I can't see him going back to fighting for world titles at the minute.
Yeah, you caught me swigging. You caught me swigging on the homemade shandy there. Caught me swigging on the homemade shandy.
Nah, Raf, to be a gatekeeper, you got to be able to punch people. And Parker don't punch people. He don't punch people, mate. And that's the thing about it. He's like 6'5", 6'4", big guy. Don't go through punching people, mate. That's what he's gun shy. He says he got the best chin around, and he got dropped by Dillian White. He got dropped by Derek Chisora. No. Parker ain't all that. He's a hype because he comes from Pan Oceania or whatever. He hyped him up over on our side of the country, and they brought him over here because you remember the stupid videos that his promoter done about Joshua, saying Joshua's all this and all that, and he'll knock him out. He's never been dropped. Nah, he was just hyped up. He's over here now, earning the payday. That's all he is. He's going to milk up for what he can, and he's going to go between each other. He's not world class. He's not world level. He's not. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder all the bloody rematches. It's what the hell? Go and have a meaningful fight. Go and have a meaningful fight. What are you fighting Chisora again for? Have a meaningful fight. You had the option to fight Joyce. You had the option to fight, what's his name? Hergovic. Come on now. Might have a fight that makes some sense after this. Or not. Just keep wallowing around, just floating on the ocean. You know, not really going anywhere. You know, like driftwood. Keep on floating on the ocean like driftwood.
me. Go.
I mean, I don't know. Joseph Parker needs to decide what he wants from his career. We know what Derek Chisora is. I think Derek is well aware what he is, even though sometimes he loses his head and thinks that he's still some I don't know. Anyway, look, Joseph Parker needs to decide what he is, and he's still young enough to do something, anything. But I mean, since he let Joshua turn that fight into a 12-round sparring match, I mean, he just allowed Joshua to just, pretty much cruise the fight out. I'm just like, this guy sold his belt. And since that time, Joseph Parker has been really unimpressive. But we'll see against Derek Chisora. We'll see. I hope he makes a better decision. If he wins this fight, I think he should fight Filip Hrgovic for the IBF mandatory because he's number 4 and Hrgovic is number 3.
Come on. Let's have some movement.
I think it's all the meth he's been selling in New Zealand.
Whoa! I don't know nothing about that. Allegedly, innocent Joseph.
Allegedly. Well, it's in the books on the news. It's allegedly.
Joseph Parker said he bad man them around here to see me, I don't know.
Carry on. If you're Leighton.
No, I'm just saying, Raph. Like I totally, I don't rate Parker at all. He's not. No. He's not even British level in my eyes. Because like you're saying, like we got our 38-year-old British guy who beat him. He's not British level. He's not mixing with what's Dillian White's young guy, the one he got. I can't think of his name. The one who beat
Babbage.
Not Babbage. What's the other one called? What's the other one? You know the one. I can't think of his name. That's the one. He's not even on our level, mate. He's not even on our level.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you. That guy can scrap. He's not on our level, bro. That guy will come to scrap.
Who we talking about?
Wardley.
Fabio Wardley. You
Yeah,
think
Wardley.
Fabio Wardley beats Joseph Parker?
Yes, I do. Because he comes to scrap and Joseph tries running. You got to scrap at heavyweight. And when he gets touched, you realise, hang on, I don't want to do it. And that's what he does with everyone. Everyone he fights, Joseph Parker, he realises, hang on, I don't want none of that. I'll run. He don't go trading with none of them. And that's what I'm saying. He's not even on British level in my eyes. He can box. I'm not going to lie, he can box. And he's good defensive. And when he's hooked up with Andy Lee, like Andy Lee's taught him a bit more like of defensive, but he's not coming forward. And when you're talking you in UK, you've got to come forward, mate. You've got to come forward. Otherwise, you're not having a fight. Do you know what I mean? If you're some slick American like Floyd Mayweather or whatever, I understand you've got the skills to step on the back step and you can go in and do it. But he haven't even got those skills. But he got no, like I always say, in New Zealand, it's like there's a group called the Mongols, and it's like what is he? He's Maori, isn't it? What the Maoris did, it's the Mongols. He got no Mongol in him, bruv. He got nothing in him. He ain't got it in him, bruv.
Interesting. Rich as heck for a gatekeeper. BPV headliner. Hey, making the money. Parker ain't retiring. He's only 29. Still more fights for him. Gatekeeper fights, though, Chan. Looks like gatekeeper fights, unless he steps up and fights Ergovic or Joe Joyce. You know, there's a lack of ambition. There's a lack of ambition that I don't like with Parker.
Hey, Rafi, before I slide off, right? I see you had hashtag Billy Joe Sanders, and you know that's my favorite topic. So before I slide off, let me just say, I think Billy Joe Sanders needs to go away. I think Billy Joe Sanders is a blight upon the boxing world. This is a guy who is a waste of talent, as limited as he is. He thinks he's this slick mover boxer who's the best ever. He's not. He got exposed. Canelo Alvarez told him to you. Yo, what up?
Can I say? But Billy Joe will never quit. He won't quit on the stool. He'd never quit in his life. You'd have to carry me out there, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta break. You gotta break my 2 orbitals and go out on your back, brother. Look here. So Billy Joe Sanders is out here talking about he wants $5 million to fight Eubank, 2 bums, and it's just like, I think Billy Joe needs to just call it a day. What else is there for you to do? To get beat up by you're not gonna go back to 160 and fight Andre. We already know that. You're gonna stay at 168 to do what? Is Eddie Hearn gonna sit there? You already made yourself a spectacle leading up to the Canelo fight of just real foolish stuff. Made it hard on everybody else. Oh, I want the entire football field to fight on. I want the entire Piccadilly Circus to fight it. You know what I'm saying? And then go in there to get knocked. I think Billy Joe Sanders needs to retire, give the boxing world a break, go back to making tutorials about how to properly beat your wife. I think you're good at that. And that's about it. My bad, rap.
I'm picking on crackheads. Don't forget that. Picking on poor people from the street as well. Picking on poor people from the street.
I'm out.
People. He's a scum, bro. He's scum.
Was the Iron Kong, much appreciation goes out to the Iron Kong. He's got his own channel. Go check him out. Okay, thank you to the Iron Kong. Okay, we're gonna stay. We're not gonna go to Billy Joe just yet. We're gonna stay in the heavyweights, and So let's go around the table.
Usyk Joshua. We want to get to that one.
No, we're gonna go there in a second. But first, I want your picks. Who you got in the second fight? I'll go first. Parker's the younger man. He will have taken his cues. He will have learned from the first fight, and he's gonna come back and implement what he's learned with his new coach, Andy Lee. And I believe I had Chisora winning the first one, but he's the older man. I think the momentum now has turned in the favor of Joseph Parker. So I'm picking him for the second fight, even though I don't want the second fight. Parker should be going on and fighting Joyce or Hergovic, in my opinion. So it's a waste of time. But I have Parker winning it late in Evelyn.
Yeah, what I'll say is I want Chisora to win. I do 100%, but I agree with you, Raf. I think he's got his number. He's got a year older. He's gone slower. He's declining. He's not as good as he was. And Parker's he's not going to get suckered with that knockout flash punch when he's not going to fall for that where Chisora's just going to come for you. He's going to know. He's going to put a game plan for that. Because Chisora's too old and tough to just sit back and make up a game plan to fight him. Chisora only knows one way. Let's go in there and swing. Do you know what I mean? I want Chisora to win, but I agree with you. I think Parker's going to get him. He had the decision when he shouldn't have had the decision. But whether the judges realise what they've done and change it, do you know what I mean? That's why he's running it back, because the judges know they had it wrong and they give it to Chisora. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But I agree with you, Raf. I agree. I think Parker's going to have him just through age and through mobility.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sub Skrilla.
I literally have nothing to even add on that one because you both hit the nail on the head. Parker, simple as.
Yeah. Okay, so the poll I'm doing right now for everybody in the chat is who wins? Who wins? Parker. Who wins, Parker or Chisora? Putting that in the chat right now. Let me see. I spelled everything okay. Who wins, Parker, Chisora? 3, 2, 1. Should appear any second now. Poll should appear any second now. Okay, there it is. The poll. Who wins, Parker or Chisora? Okay, so that's there. Everybody, please take a couple of seconds to make your choice as we move. Hold on. Let me have a look. A couple of seconds in the chat right here. Dr. Woodock has joined us. AOBZ has joined us. Audi TT up in the building. I've already mentioned the Philip Carl Roberts. And who else have I already mentioned? Oh, I mentioned Wizard Sleeves. Who else have I forgot? Audi TT's there. And Jay Eriks. All right, so White gets the belt maybe means Wallin soon has it then, and will G Tamar Johansson Ingmar, and we'll follow in Ingmar Johansson's footsteps. Ingmar Johansson, an old-time Swedish heavyweight. Was he champion? Did he become a heavyweight champion? I can't remember. Before my time. But well-known Swedish boxer Ingemar Johansson. Okay, so it's time. What is this? Dr. Woodock up in here. Yes. Okay, so let's get onto it. Let's bring that down. What is that? Okay, cool. So stop sharing that now. And the topic changes to Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. And I know the Sub Skrilla's backing Usyk on this one. I feel it in my water. Sub Skrilla, talk to me.
Do you know what it is? I can't make my mind up on this one. It's funny because part of me feels like this is a bit of a lose-lose fight for AJ, particularly because Usyk hasn't really established himself in heavyweight, which I can't blame him for not doing when he's pretty much got an immediate shot. But naysayers are going to be naysayers anyway. But obviously, if Joshua beats him, is just a cruiserweight. But then if Usyk does win, then it's huge. There's a couple of things I'm thinking about in this fight. Half of me feels like Joshua's just going to be too big, too strong. It might be too much of a task. But on the flip side, one of Usyk's strongest points has always been his stamina. Like, his gas tank is insane. And I've seen Joshua struggle with that a couple of times, especially when he tries to empty the clip on people early. You often see him sort of almost take a round or two to recover sometimes. Yeah. And Usyk's got them mad gears, and I feel like Usyk's that accurate that if the fight does wear on to the later rounds, and Joshua does get as fatigued as we've seen him, Usyk could just start picking him off, and it could be a TKO stoppage. And I know that sounds far-fetched to some people, but with how accurate Usyk is and how much he drains you, how good his gas tank is, I think he might thrive in the later rounds more than Joshua would.
Interesting. interesting. Let never.
Yeah. What I'm saying is practically the same as what he's saying. Listen, I'm a big Joshua fan, but I'm boxing first, yeah? And I appreciate Usyk's boxing skills. Trust me, I boxed for years myself, and I know. Listen, Usyk comes in once in 100 years, mate. He is special, and I'm telling you, he is fucking special. All right, he ain't got a pardon the language. Sorry, he is special. And I said it when he was cruiserweight. I said, if this guy goes up, he's going to be something special, mate. And he's come up, and he is special. It's his foot movement, it's his angles, it's the way he hits people. He does what he does, stays in range, and when he does, he's always on a back foot. So when he gets punched, if it's a big punch, he can still rise it and jump back. Listen, he's going to be a problem. This is why I'm going to the fight. I pay my money. I'm going there. Hotel, everything. Drag my missus. I'm going to that fight. Because I'm worried for Joshua. I am worried for Joshua. And everyone's saying like Joshua's just going to hit him a big punch and hit him out. No, mate, it's not going to work like that. It's going to be a chess match. And listen, Joshua got to figure out this Rubik's Cube. He's got to figure it out. If he don't figure it out, he's going to be in trouble. And I agree with what my man said earlier. It's like if Usyk does it, it'll be through accumulation of not big punches, because Joshua will take his power, but it will be accumulations. With Usyk, people, if you don't know boxing, people will just look at him on the eye test. They think he's nothing. But you've got to know your boxing, and you'll know Usyk he's special, mate. And I mean, he's special. But at the same time, if Joshua beats him, everyone's going to say, oh, well, it's nothing. And to me, that is one of Joshua's best defeats if he beats him. And if Usyk beats him, Usyk's going to get all the praise in the world and say Joshua's a bum, Joshua's knowing nothing. This is one of the best fights. I'm telling you, bro, as a boxer, this is one of the best fights you could ask for. It's so hard to pick. And I bet on every fight, but I'm not even going to bet on this fight. I'm cheated on Joshua, but I don't know. And that's the truth. I don't write off Usyk. People think he's too small, he's too this, he's too that. It's not that. It's his footwork and it's his ability. It's his jabs. He hits some angles. He pivots. He comes round. He does things that heavyweights ain't seen, mate. Ain't seen. Trust me. And I box for since I was 10 to 15, 16, mate. Trust me. It's a hard fight to call, ref. Hard fight to call. Still there, Raf? Anyone? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Where Refi go?
I don't know. You can hear me.
Oh,
is it, bro? Yeah.
Sorry. I was on mute. I was talking on mute. My bad.
Go on, Refi.
Okay, so it's a hard fight to call. It's one of the most intriguing, loud and clear. It's one of the most intriguing heavyweight clashes of the year. It is the most intriguing heavyweight clash of the year.
And I'm a Joshua fan, Raf. I'm a Joshua fan, and I'm boxing first. And I'm telling you, bro, this is so hard.
Well, like I said, it's an intriguing matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, we got a couple of people waiting in the wings. Okay, that's cool in the game. I'm looking forward to it. As a champion, you have to take on all comers. There's 3 champions. Well, there's 2 champions. Hold on.
No, just say something, bro. Just say something. Let me say something.
Hold on. There's two champions, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, and the next champion. Only one of them is taking on all comers, and that's Anthony Joshua. So although he's taking on a hell of a challenge, that will, to me, some people say, well, he's a no-win situation. No. He's taking on a lineal cruiserweight champion, and that will not go missed. That will not go unnoted in the history books, in the record books. So slowly but surely, the one champion who is taking on all of the other champions, all comers, that man's name is Anthony Oluwafemi Joshua. In comes Ty Nugent. Hello, Ty Nugent. Hello, Ty. Are you there?
What's going on, mate? How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
I'm just settling back. I joined into the live stream earlier today. I'm very intrigued by the boxing talk we'll be chopping up.
Okay. Yeah. What? Come on in. Say what you're saying, my friend. Come on in. Say what you're saying.
Were you guys discussing the Wilder Fury situation?
No, right about now, we're talking about Joshua Usyk.
Oh, okay. See, Usyk, my problem with him is he's a cruiserweight. I mean, he's moving up to heavyweight, but he's a cruiserweight originally, so he may be more skilled, but I'd have to give that to Joshua. Much bigger.
That's a very strange accent you've got, my friend. Where are you from?
UK.
What part
London.
of the UK?
London. I'm actually 17 years old. I'm very young. Victoria.
That ain't no London accent, brother. That ain't no London accent.
That ain't no London accent. That ain't no London accent. I'm sorry. Can't help you, my friend. When you come over here, you need to be a bit more honest, a bit more scrupulous. You know what I'm saying? It's grown men talking up in here, my friend. Okay, so next time, just be a little bit more honest. Okay, so in comes the man like the fight doctor. The fight doctor. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status, as always. Good afternoon, evening, gentlemen.
Okay, folks, we're going into overtime. So that means, the show's an hour. If you want to go
I'm taking my paracetamol now. I'm taking them right now. Ready for the fight doctor.
We're going into overtime. Hit those buttons. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. And don't forget about the super chat button if you're enjoying the show and you want to be the sponsor of the show. The super chat button is there. The PayPal button is in the description box. The like button is there. And the share button is there. Those are all of the good buttons. Okay. All right. The fight doctor, come in.
So now, and I want to say welcome back. We missed you. We missed the Anthony Joshua cheerleading. Yeah, we certainly missed the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent.
My pom-poms here. My pom-poms here, son.
Yep, you guys are back and in full effect. So welcome back. We missed you.
Who you miss?
We missed the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent.
Where's the cheerleading?
Fight doctor. If you hear what I said, my analogy, I said I'm worried because I think Usyk is better than what you think he is. You think Usyk is nothing. And I'm a boxing fan and I know Usyk is quality.
All right, so let's look at Usyk's record, right? So, he hasn't done anything at heavyweight, so we've already discussed that ad nauseum. Not going to bring that back up. But let's look at the Tony Bellew fight, right? I'm actually looking at the scorecards. And at the time of the stoppage, Bellew was actually up on two of the cards, and the third judge had it a draw. Tony Bellew was outboxing Alexander Usyk. So marinate on that for a second. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, but how did it work out for him? How did it work out for him?
Tony Bellew was outboxing Alexander Usyk. The same guy who some people think is going to actually pose a challenge to Anthony Joshua. Tony Bellew was outboxing Alexander, old Tony Bellew.
And then what happened? How did the fight finish?
Did he blow out his knee or something?
No,
not at all. No.
Usyk blew out his gut. Usyk blew out Bellew's gut.
Listen, the knockout does not detract from the fact that Usyk was up on the scorecards. I mean, what is it about simple mathematics?
Wilder loses on every scorecard. Wilder loses on every scorecard.
And once again, whenever we start talking about Anthony Joshua, whenever we start talking about Anthony Joshua, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent wants to pull Deontay Wilder out of their collective asses. Why? We're not talking about Deontay Wilder. We're talking about Alexander Usyk. We're not even talking about Anthony Joshua. We're talking about Alexander Usyk.
I just give an analogy. Wrong analogy. Sorry, bro.
But hold on. Let the fight doctor have his say. Say what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, regardless of how the fight ended, that does not detract from the fact that Tony Bellew was up on two of the judges' scorecards, with the third having it a draw. So you know what that means? It means up until the time of the stoppage, old, slow Tony Bellew was giving Alexander Usyk a boxing lesson.
And
that's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
What's your point? There's got to be a point. I mean, we're not talking about Bellew. We're talking about Usyk Joshua. So you presumably
okay, right? We're talking about Usyk Joshua. I'm talking about Alexander Usyk. That's what I'm talking about. Not Deontay Wilder. Alexander
Fight
Usyk.
Doctor, excuse me, Fight Doctor, but you,
Yes,
in your eyes, you think Usyk is nothing. You think he's nothing. You don't rate him at all, do you?
What I'm saying
Is that correct?
Is that no? Do I rate him at heavyweight? No, he hasn't done anything at heavyweight. I mean, what has he done? He beat Chaz Witherspoon. He went life and death with Derek Chisora. That's what he's done so far at heavyweight. So, what does that mean? In my mind, it doesn't mean much.
No, but I understand what your analogy is. I understand your analogy. But have you ever fought, Fight Doctor? Have you ever had a fight? Have you ever been in a boxing ring?
I've been in plenty of street fights. I've been in plenty of street fights.
Are you undefeated?
The hardest people to fight. The hardest people to fight are movers. Movers are the hardest.
Are you undefeated in the streets?
Anyone who tells you that they're undefeated in street fighting is lying.
I agree 100% there. Street fighting is completely different. Completely
exactly.
Different. But what
I've never met anyone who was undefeated in a street fight.
Listen, I got guys I've been in the ring with, and I know I could beat this guy in a street fight, but the guy beat me in a boxing match because he can move and run, and his angles. It's different. It's completely different, brother.
So presumably, Fight Doctor, you're leading into a prediction. I mean, there must be some conclusion to what you're saying. I mean, are you making a prediction here?
I've already made my prediction. I don't think Usyk will hear the final bell. I don't think this fight goes the distance. Listen, Usyk is not a heavyweight, right? And look, he might have been a good cruiserweight. I don't even think he's the best or even the number 2 cruiserweight in the last 20 years. But he may have been a good cruiserweight, but that means nothing in the heavyweight division. Nothing. And so far, at heavyweight, he's done next to nothing.
It meant something when Evander Holyfield.
Fight Doctor.
It meant something when Evander Holyfield did it.
What does Evander Holyfield have to do with the price of tea in China and Alexander Usyk?
But like what I'm saying, Fight Doctor, is if Joshua do knock out Usyk, will you give him credit?
I would give Joshua credit for having knocked out a good cruiserweight.
That's all. Just a good cruiserweight. Not a pound for pound. Not a pound for pound.
I would listen.
Just credit. That's all he gets is credit. That's all he gets is just credit. Is it?
I give credit where credit is due. All right.
So you get respect for knocking out a pound for pound.
Pound for pound, what? What has he done? What? See, you know what? None of this makes any sense. Okay, look.
Listen,
is the guy the best cruiserweight in the world?
That's what people say. People say pound for pound. I don't agree with pound for pound. But that's what people say, Fight Doctor. They say pound for pound. I don't agree with pound for pound. No way, I don't. It's just a make-believe stuff. I don't believe in it. But what I'm saying is I do rate Usyk as a fighter. I really do, as a fighter. Not the hardest puncher, not whatever, as a fighter. But people like you who hates on Anthony Joshua, no matter what, ain't going to give him the credit.
Wait a second. How am I hating on Anthony Joshua? I just picked a man to beat Usyk. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, just because you picked him to beat him, you call us all Anthony Joshua's pom-pom crew and Anthony Joshua's cheerleading crew. Come on, bro. Be honest. You don't like Anthony Joshua. Be honest.
I'm an Anthony Joshua fan. I'm not an Anthony Joshua fanboy. I'm not part of the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent, if that's the question.
Nobody's fanboying for Joshua.
I can't tell.
I assure you of that. If it happened, you're gonna have to give it a timestamp. Listen to the show after it's finished and give me and write in the comment section the timestamp of when you heard anybody fanboying for Joshua. So that's your.
I said Joshua might lose. I said Joshua might lose. Thank you, Raf. I said Joshua might lose. Thank you.
Yeah,
you need to listen, Fight Doctor.
Yes, sir. You're right. I need to listen. You're absolutely positively right. Yes, sir. I agree.
Tyan Nugent, you can't come back tonight. Try me another night and come with your real accent and don't come with no fake. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so no, the answer is no. So not tonight, Josephine. Okay, so what we saying? Yeah, we're in overtime. Remember that we are in overtime. Hit all of the good buttons. Okay, so we gotta go for picks now. We gotta go for picks, and I'm gonna start with Sub Skrilla.
I'm gonna go with Joshua. I really want Usyk to win this one, but I think ultimately the size, etc., might be too much. And even if it does end up going the distance, and I said I favour Usyk in the later rounds for that purely because of his gas tank, and I don't think Joshua's stamina is all that. Home cooked cards, Joshua being the heavy favourite, UK judges.
Why do you want Usyk to win?
He's just my favourite fighter. Like I said, you said earlier something about me favouring Fury, but yeah. I like and dislike Joshua, Wilder, Fury pretty much equally. Usyk's probably my favourite heavyweight right now. It feels weird calling him a heavyweight because I know he hasn't done anything. But as a fighter,
had 3 fights at heavyweight that we know of recently, in the last recent years. What has he
done?
Yeah,
I know what you mean, but he's my favourite fighter in terms of inside and outside the ring.
What has Usyk done in heavyweight to impress you?
He's done nada at heavyweight yet. But I'm saying he's my favourite fighter in terms of in and out the ring.
I'll jump in there. Listen,
hold on a second, please. What has Usyk done outside of the ring? What does he do outside of the ring that impresses you?
The way he conducts himself, everything. He's just a character. I like him in and out the ring where there's things that Wilder, Joshua and Fury do that make me dislike them. That's all it is.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
Do you know what it is? I try not to focus on the outside the ring too much, but you know how someone was mentioning Billy Joe Saunders earlier? That guy is that much of a scumbag that I just can't stand him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was actively praying for Canelo to break the guy.
I think a lot of people were. I think you're not alone. You're not alone.
But I understand what Fight Doctor was saying as well when Usyk hasn't really done anything at heavyweight yet. And that was my first point, wasn't it? Like, I think a lot of people, it'll be a lose-lose for Joshua because if Usyk beats him, obviously it's bad. But if he beats him, then at the end of the day, he's just beat a cruiserweight.
Well, yeah, but no, serious boxing fans know Usyk's caliber and will give him his due. Also, the record books will show if Joshua wins, which I suspect he will. Record books will show that Joshua beat a lineal cruiserweight champion. So I don't agree with the philosophy, the thought process that it's a lose-lose for Joshua. Just adding my two, but I hear what you're saying.
May I ask a question?
Can I finish what I'm saying? Just so you know, what I'm saying is I hear the opposition voice, but I'm adding a different perspective. Undisputed cruiserweight champ, also lineal. Since that's so important, lineal also. It's Leighton Nevlin first, then the Fight Doctor. Leighton Nevlin.
Yeah. What I'll say is, like, when everyone says what's Usyk done at heavyweight, well, I'll tell you what he's done at heavyweight. He's not lost. He is not lost. Simple as. That's a fact. He's not lost. And he's fought whatever you got, he's not lost. And like I'm telling you, as a boxer, he is the hardest guy to fight because of the way he pivots and he punches when he pivots. Most people, they'll pivot because their brain don't take in, pivot, then hit. He pivots and hits at the same time. It's so hard as a boxer. You've got to know the art. You know the art. What he does, he's one of the most skillfulest boxers around. Sorry, but he is. He's so skillful. Not the most hardest hitting puncher, but he's so skillful. The guy, as an art, you don't respect the sport, mate, if you don't realize what that guy does. It's his pivot and hitting. It's so hard. Like everyone else, you got your back foot there, you got your front foot forward, you bounce on, you bounce in. To pivot and to hit at the same time is so hard as a boxer. The guy has got it down to an art.
Who wins and how?
Who wins? This is what I'm trying to say to you, right? I want Joshua to win. I really, really do want Joshua to win, 100%. But I can't call it. I got a feeling Usyk will beat him, but Joshua will get a decision on the cards. because they're like, well, my man said it's home cooking, and it is, and he's the big money man. But I'm telling you, this is the hardest fight. This guy, if you know boxing, right? I followed Usyk for years. Mate, I tell anyone, if you want to watch boxing, watch him. That is how you box. I mean, I don't care what you say. You don't go forward, punching. Boxing is an art. He does stuff the normal man can't do. Raf, I've been in the ring. I know the score. The hit and pivot at the same time is so hard. It's so hard. But the guy does it with ease. And I'm gonna go with decision Joshua, because controversial decision Joshua, and I'm a Joshua fan, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, Fight Doctor, have you had your pick? Fight Doctor?
So, I don't think Usyk is going to hear the final bell. But I have a question for the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent. Before I ask my question, I just want to make a quick statement that I'm glad that this is all on the record so that the world can hear. I don't want to use the word hypocrisy from the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent, but I just want to note that if this were Deontay Wilder fighting Usyk instead of Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder would be on the receiving end of the riot act right about now. Okay, Anthony Joshua would just be another bum, another tomato can, whatever derogatory remark that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent normally makes about Deontay Wilder's resume and the tomato cans on it. All right, Usyk would be one of their lot, right? And here's the reason why I say that.
Absolutely not. It's ridiculous, but carry on.
And the reason why I say that is if you look at Deontay Wilder's opponents since he won the WBC heavyweight title, all right, most, if not all of them, are more proven at heavyweight than Alexander Usyk.
Stop it, bro.
Let him finish.
Most, if not all of them, are more proven at heavyweight than Alexander Usyk. Yet and still, Anthony Joshua, okay, is getting zero flack from his cheerleading contingent about his choice of opponent. Whereas
his choice, it wasn't a choice. Carry on.
What are you talking about? It wasn't a choice. He does not have to fight Usyk.
Of course he does.
Drop the belt. Drop the belt.
Of course he does.
Drop the belt.
He's fighting.
Is a mandatory.
Okay, he's fighting Usyk because this stupid organization is forcing the fight on him in order for Joshua to hold on to their stupid belt. But he does not have to fight Usyk. He can tell the WBO where they can go.
It's a mandatory.
I took my paracetamol. I'm so glad, Raf.
It's a mandatory. Of course he has to fight him.
No, he does not. There's nothing in his contract with Sky Sports or whomever he's contracted with, Eddie Hearn or Rematchroom, whoever he's contracted with. There's nothing in the contract that says he has to fight Usyk.
It's a
He's choosing to. It's a mandatory.
Raf,
he's choosing.
Cook him, Raf. Cook him, please. Cook him, Raf.
He's choosing to meet his mandatory obligation, but this is not something he has to do. He can go fight whoever he wants to.
Who the hell does he fight instead of Usyk?
Listen, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Now, don't get mad at me.
Simple question: Who the hell does he fight other than Usyk?
I'm sorry, but do not get angry with me over the hypocrisy. I'm sorry, sir, but you cannot get mad at me over the hypocrisy of the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent. Please do not get angry with me. I'm sorry.
Really asking you.
But the simple fact of the matter is this: is that if Wilder were fighting Usyk instead of Joshua, Deontay Wilder right now would be on the receiving end of the riot act, okay, coming from the cheerleading contingent, Anthony Joshua. Yes?
So why ain't
that's
Wilder
what will be happening right now.
Attack? No, listen, why ain't Wilder in attack? Fighting a guy who's been out the ring for 3 years. Why ain't he in attack and giving him 2 chances? $10 million to fight Joshua for undisputed, but he's fighting a guy who's been sitting for 3 years. Come on, bro. What the hell?
Who does he fight if he does? It's his obligation as a champion to fight, man. I know you're not used to it because you got an American champ who only fought 2 mandatories in 5 years. So I understand that you're not used to the concept. But outside of America, my friend, you fight your mandatories. It's a mark. It's the hallmark of a champion that you don't duck, you don't slip and slide. You don't get depressed. You fight your mandatories. You know, and it's just that simple, my friend. It's just that simple. You fight your mandatories. Mandatory. It is mandatory. The secret is in the word. And I'm sure
So I'm actually agreeing with the sub Skrilla that this is a lose-lose situation for Joshua, because if he wins,
lose, man.
Why is it lose-lose? Because if he wins, he will have beaten a cruiserweight. And if he loses, he will have lost to a cruiserweight. And this will be especially damaging because he lost a few fights ago to the Pillsbury Doughboy. So if he loses, listen, Anthony Joshua's legacy here is in serious jeopardy, because if he loses, all right, it's a wrap. I'm telling you, it's a wrap. He can't afford to lose.
It's a wrap. You see, this is the problem.
It's not a wrap. He can come back. He can come back.
This is one at a time. This is the problem, and this is the mentality. If you lose a fight, you're finished. No, this is a 2000 some kind of millennial nonsense. Look back at all your favorite.
Raf, it's an American nonsense. American nonsense. Look here, UK. We love you for fighting.
Look, I'm not going to say it to all Americans at all.
Are you guys still angry because the colonies sent you packing? Is that what this is about?
Listen.
Because you're bringing up my American heritage as if it has something to do with the price of tea in China. Are you guys still angry because the colonies sent you home packing twice?
3 times in Texas we fit into. 3 times in Texas. But yeah, we were still an empire. You've never been an empire. That's one thing you've wanted to be, is an empire.
Are you guys still angry because we sent you home packing not once but twice? Is that what this is about?
Who is your favorite fighter? Fight doctor.
My favorite fight, like currently fighting right now?
No, of all times. Of all times.
Probably, that's a hard question to answer. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.
Okay, let's
Felix Trinidad. I was a huge Felix Trinidad fan.
One at a time. Mike Tyson lost several times. Roy Jones Jr. lost several times. Carry on. Give me another one of your favorite fighters.
What does this have to do with the price of tea in China? We're not talking about my favorite fighters. We're talking about Anthony Joshua.
When you fight people who can beat you, you'll lose. You lose when you're fighting people all the time consistently. You can beat you. But when you're fighting people who can't beat you, you'll never lose.
Your favorite fighters have all lost. So you saying if Anthony Joshua loses another fight is finished, that is complete and utter poppycock.
If Anthony Joshua loses to Alexander Usyk, not only will he have lost to a cruiserweight, he will also have lost to the replacement of the replacement.
He's not a cruiserweight.
The Pillsbury Doughboy. No, I'm talking about when he lost to Andy Ruiz.
No. He's a heavyweight.
Okay?
He's a heavyweight now. He's had 3 fights heavyweight, so don't call him a cruiserweight. He's a heavyweight. Carry on.
Okay, he's 3-0 at heavyweight. I'm sorry, 2-0 at heavyweight. He's 2-0 at heavyweight. Let that sink in. He's 2-0 at heavyweight. If Anthony Joshua loses
to he's still a heavyweight. He's still a heavyweight.
He's a 2-0 heavyweight. He's a 2-0 heavyweight.
He's a heavyweight.
He's a 2-0 heavyweight.
Can we stop deflecting? My question to you, sir, was who are your favorite fighters? And each one of your favorite fighters have multiple losses on their records.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
The definition of a great fighter is not a fighter who never lost.
You know what? Listen, and that was actually the question I wanted to ask the cheerleading contingent. Is Alexander Usyk a great fighter? Is he?
Alexander Usyk is a lineal cruiserweight.
He's undisputed.
That was not the question. The question.
Undisputed means you're a good fighter. If you're an undisputed fighter, if you're a 4-belt eater, right? There's only a couple of them. You're a 4-belt eater, undefeated, undisputed, undefeated fighter. You're great. Sorry, he's going to go Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. Sorry, he is.
Okay, so then who's the guy at 140? Josh, what's the guy's name? The undisputed champion at 140.
Taylor.
Josh Taylor. Is Josh Taylor a great fighter?
He's going to go to Hall of Fame. Is
Josh Taylor a great fighter?
Josh Taylor is a great fighter.
If you're undisputed, you're going to go Hall of Fame. If you're undisputed, you're going to go Hall of Fame.
For the record, all right, so for the record, right? For the record, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent considers Alexander Usyk and Josh Taylor as both being great fighters.
Yes.
No.
And,
I'm
there's
right.
no-
I'm
there's
going
no-
by
there's
criteria.
There's no
Criteria.
Joshua cheerleading contingent here, but if you're asking me, then I say yes.
So Anthony, all right, okay.
Fight that. You go by criteria. Criteria means undisputed. It means no one's disputing you're the best of our era. You're undisputed. If you're an undisputed fighter, you are going Hall of Fame.
But that was not the question. The question is.
I've answered the question, yes.
All right, and I'm glad that we now have it as a matter of record that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent considers a fighter great merely because they own 4 trinkets. Thank you for clearing that up. Now we know.
Okay, yeah, it picked him up pretty much one at a time. If that ain't great, I don't know what
Fight
is.
Doctor.
Yes,
do you realize how hard that is to do in this either? Do you realize how hard that is to do?
Yeah. It's a difficult thing to do. But listen, we're getting off track and the time is almost 9. So listen.
You guys do realize, of course, that Jermaine Taylor at middleweight held 4 titles. He was undisputed in the 4-belt era. Right? Jermaine Taylor.
What about him? What about
him? Now you guys make the argument.
Anybody disparaged him?
The question is, the question was,
Jermaine Taylor was a top fighter. He was a top fighter.
But do you guys consider him great? Is Jermaine Taylor a great fighter?
I'd say he was.
He was a top fighter. He was a great fighter.
He lost the Frotch. But he was a great fighter. Yeah, I'd say great fighter.
Very good fighter.
Jermaine Taylor is a great fighter. That's your argument.
He's a very good fighter.
No, that wasn't the question. Is he a great fighter?
I'm saying very good. Okay,
but now you're changing. All right, so but now you're not being consistent with your logic.
Why are you comparing grade 2?
Again, listen, I'm glad that the listening audience can hear all the flip-flopping and logical gymnastics being performed.
If you think this is flip-flopping, then I suggest
that's exactly what it is. Because a minute ago you were saying 2 minutes ago you were saying that if you're undisputed, that makes you a great fighter. Well, Jermaine Taylor was undisputed in the 4-belt era.
No, he wasn't on the 4-belt.
Yes, he was. Jermaine Taylor was undisputed in the 4-belt era. Yes, he was. Go back and check the record books.
Did he have Ring Magazine as well?
Oh, see, here we go. I'm so happy that it is on record. All of the mental, logical gymnastics that the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent is performing for everyone to see and hear.
No, I'm playing the game you play.
So please continue.
As well. Was he Ring Magazine?
Please continue.
Answer me that. Answer me. Was he
the only thing we're missing is the 3 wings. And the circus, and the big top, and the top hat, and the clowns, and the clown car with all the clowns jumping out of the car. That's all we're missing right now.
I'm doing what you does. I'm doing exactly what you do. He wasn't Ring Magazine, was he? He wasn't Ring Magazine. So I'm doing exactly what you do, brother.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So listen, we want to bring this. We're bringing this thing home. We're bringing this thing home. Everybody hit all of the good buttons, please. Thank you. Now, one by one, I want you to one or two word answers. 1 or 2 word answers from top to bottom. Who wins? Leighton Evelyn, Joshua or Usyk?
Joshua, bruv. My heart's Joshua.
Okay. Sub Skrilla. Who wins? Joshua or Usyk?
I know you say 1 or 2 words. I'm going to pick Joshua, but I just think it'll be an interesting fight because I think some of the skill sets and natural things like I say, just Usyk's gas tank and stuff, I think it will make for an interesting fight. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Joshua.
The fight doctor. Who wins?
Nobody.
Joshua or Usyk?
Nobody. Nobody wins.
Could you give me a sensible answer, please? I know it's asking a lot.
Everybody else,
please, mute yourself.
I will be more than happy to explain my answer.
Continue.
Can we get some parliamentary procedure in here, sir?
You have 1 sentence. This is triple, double overtime, and we ain't had no support in the form of super chatting.
If Joshua beats Usyk, he will have beaten a cruiserweight. Therefore, he loses because he will have beaten a cruiserweight. So even if he wins, he loses.
Oh shit!
So nobody wins.
He's not a cruiserweight. He's a heavyweight. Stop it.
I'm sorry. if Joshua wins, he will have beaten a 2-0 heavyweight. So if Joshua wins, he loses.
So then you're forgetting a 2-0 heavyweight, but an undisputed cruiserweight. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. How many Hall of Famers has Joshua beat? How many?
Please,
Come on, bruv.
please. I got a super chat from thank you. This is the Audi alias TT, who generously becomes the sponsor of the show. And I think this is directed to the Fight Doctor. The Fight Doctor. How many trinkets did Wilder obtain?
And once again, whenever we are talking about Anthony Joshua and his next opponent, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent has to pull Deontay Wilder out of their rear end. I can never understand why. Maybe it's penis envy. I don't know. Okay? But we're not talking about Deontay Wilder and how many trinkets he has. That's irrelevant to the topic at hand. Has nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
Are we talking about the twerking done? Nobody's got penis envy for the twerking done, my friend. I assure you of that. Certainly not over here. Over here on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. That's preposterous and quite frankly outrageous and flagrantly ridiculous. And I think the answer is one. That's the answer. Okay. 1 second. I'm multitasking over here.
Let me ask you this, Fight Doctor. Do you think Usyk is an easy fight for Joshua?
No. I don't think Usyk is going to make it easy. No, I don't think Usyk. I think Usyk is smart enough to come to the ring with a coherent game plan, and I think he has the skill, IQ to execute that game plan. Now, I don't think he'll see the final bell. I don't think he'll win, but I don't think it's going to be, a first, second, third round knockout. No. So I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. Now, I don't expect Usyk to be up on the cards after 6 or 7. All right. But is it going to be an easy fight? Is it going to be Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know you, but I didn't know if you rate Usyk at all or not.
Well, listen, the man is a cruiserweight in my view, but that doesn't mean he's an unskilled cruiserweight, right? And it's boxing, which means, listen, if you have a good left jab, or in this case, a good right jab, then you can give guys problems, right? And if Usyk can keep his jab in Joshua's face all night, then who knows what might happen, right? So, I don't think it's as simple as, Usyk and Joshua get in the ring, Joshua hits him with the first punch and the fight is over. I don't think it's going to be that simple. No.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I rate him really highly because of what he did at cruiserweight as well. Like to go to every champion's backyard and beat them. I think that does some doing, and to beat them on points as well.
Okay. Yes, and much appreciation for everybody who came out. Much appreciation to everybody who jumped on the panel. Much appreciation for the Audi TT to become a sponsor of the show. And let's be clear, every show needs a sponsor. I just want to make that clear. It can be a penny, it can be 2 pennies, it can be £1, 2, or more. But every show needs a sponsor. I just want to be clear about that. So it's very important. Okay. And what else we saying? Inevitably dropped off. What am I saying? Okay, well, everybody's had their pick. My pick is, I don't think I've had my pick. My pick is Anthony Joshua, the bigger man, the longer man. Listen, I've been doing some film studies on Usyk, and it hasn't been a lot, but even the little that I've done, I'm seeing routes to victory. I'm seeing a route to victory for Anthony Joshua. I'm seeing routes to victory, and I'm going to, before the fight, right before the fight, because I don't want it's going to be right before the fight. I'm going to give you the results of my extensive film study, and I think the day before the fight, yeah, because I don't want to tip off Usyk's people. So the day before the fight, I'm gonna express. Hold on, there's Leighton. There he is. Right up. I didn't know. Okay, much appreciation, Leighton. Like I said, Leighton becomes the second sponsor of the show. Every show needs a sponsor. We got the Audi alias TT, and we got the Leighton Evelyn, and I'll go further in saying why every show needs a sponsor. Listen, I listen around, I go around, I look around, and this is top shelf entertainment, and you know it. So do not be afraid to express it and show it. Okay, so what am I saying? I'm saying, yeah, I've been doing film study. I'm seeing Routes to Victory for Joshua. And the day before the fight, of course, we're covering the fight live right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And the day before we do that, the day before the fight, I will unfurl the results of my film study, and I will give it to you, put it down on wax, on tracks, my Routes to Victory for Joshua over Usyk. Undisputed, no, unified. Hopefully we get the undisputed one day, but we don't know. Anyway, so that's that. I got Joshua. I have certain specific things, certain specific routes to victory, which I have seen. One thing I'll give you. Should I even give it now? Forget it. Listen, let me give you something. So, what was the combination I was thinking of? I looked at and I saw it was good. The hook. Okay, I'll give you a combination. A hook. It looks like a jab. It's going to be a jab, but it's a hook. Yeah. So that's on the left-hand side. I've seen him get caught with that sneaky hook, left hook. I've seen him get caught with that. So that's one, the left hook. A hook right. So it's not a straight right because he's always going to be moving. So the right that comes is not a straight right, but it's got a bit of a hook on it. Looks like it might be straight, but it's got a bit of a hook on it. So it's a gentle left hook. I'm talking about gentle in terms of the arc. Okay, so it's a narrow left hook, narrow right hook, and then finish off with another hook. Don't go straight on. Okay, let me tell you. Don't go straight on Usyk. If you go straight on Usyk, that's problematic for you because he's moving to the left and the right. Okay. What I'll give you is this. Hooks. Hooks work very well with Usyk, but I'm not talking about wide hooks. I'm not talking about, going all around the houses. I'm talking about narrow hooks. Narrow hooks, but the fist has got to be moving either to the left or the right at the end of the movement, not in a straight line, because Usyk is always moving laterally himself. So hooks, it's the hooks. I've given you more than I wanted to give you. But anyway, Anthony Joshua wins. Whether it's a knockout, I don't know yet, or points. But anyway, the key is those narrow, not long, flailing hooks, narrow, tight hooks. Let me call them tight hooks then. Tight. The hand must be moving either to the left or the right at the end of the movement. And how do you respond to that, Subscriber?
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things about Usyk is, as good as his footwork is, he's not that elusive, not as elusive as, say, someone like a Tyson Fury. His footwork and his movement are very good, and they're going to tire you out. I think at points Joshua is going to have to be prepared to really walk him down, to cut off the corner and to land some shots on him. But he just can't. He can't go all out at once because he can't afford to gas out at any point with Usyk. Usyk does the same thing every single fight. He starts off kind of slow and he just goes through the gears, and by round kind of 6 or 7, his energy level's gone higher and his opponent's has gone down.
He does ramp it up. He's clever with his energy expenditure, his energy usage. He is very clever.
I think Joshua's going to have to be careful to do that at points, because if he tries to fight the entire fight at range, I think he'll come up second best to Usyk.
You know something though, with the addition of Joby Clayton and there's another guy, a Spanish cat, to Joshua's team. I think they've got a really very complete setup over there. I'm excited for the fight. Listen, Fight Doctor talks about cheerleaders. Listen, one man is going to have to win, and one man's going to have to lose. And that's the way it always is. So there ain't no cheerleading over here. It's just giving credit to the guy who's taking on all comers. And he goes by the name of Anthony Joshua. Skrilla, it's been great hearing from you again. It's been too long. Don't be a stranger.
Good to catch up with you, man.
Okay, that was the Skrilla. Thank you very much to the Skrilla. Much appreciation goes out to the Skrilla. And the Fight Doctor didn't stick around for us to give him a formal good evening. Didn't stick around. Leighton Evelyn jumped off because he has to jump off to drop in the super chat, and that's much appreciation goes out to Leighton Evelyn, not just for jumping on the panel, but for showing support in the form of super chatting, and becomes a sponsor, the second sponsor of the show. Good conversation. Good conversation. Let's leave it at that. Okay. Wilder was fighting cruisers after 25 fights, probably even before that. Fewer middles. AK Super Dope up in the building. Usyk is better than most heavy. Well, that's a damn good hypothesis. A damn good hypothesis. The Fight Doctor is a strange man. He's a strange man, but it's the mushrooms. But still, I still welcome his thoughts, as crazy as they may be, and observations. Still appreciate that. Them tequilas bringing out the Fight Doctor. Oh dear. Okay, so that's it. We've done it. It's been another one. It's been a great one. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I was a bit rushed. I was a bit iffy. Should I do it? Should I stay or should I go? I don't know. Should I do it or should I not? But as is normally the case, I'm very glad that we did do it. Very glad that we did. It's been very enjoyable. Gotta respect the Fight Doctor. He holds his own. So much appreciation to everybody. Oh, let's not forget the Iron Kong. Iron Kong was on early. The Iron Kong, Leighton Evelyn. Who was after the Leighton Evelyn? The Iron Kong, the Leighton Evelyn. Hold on. I got a method. I got a little method here that I can use and employ. I can go back. That's it. It was the Iron Kong, the Leighton Evelyn, the Skrilla, and then the Fight Doctor. Yes. I found a way to find out everybody who was on there. Okay? And so we've done it. It's been another one. It's been a great one. Yeah. That guy, the London boy. Weren't they a band? The London Boys? Pretty sure they were a band. Okay. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutement. And you know, they say that Rafi's outros last longer than most people's videos. And it's true. I just don't know how to say goodbye. I never figured out how to say goodbye, but it is. So let's just say au revoir. We're going to touch on the Billy Joe Saunders next time around. I I can't fit it in tonight, but okay. So, what can we... Was it the London boys? What about the London? There was the London boys and the Backstreet Boys. They were kind of similar. They were kind of similar in philosophy. One suspects. Okay, it's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And the hitting of the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Don't forget about the live show. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Okay, it's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the see you later. Did I post the poll? No, I didn't. Thanks for reminding me. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, let's go over. Let's go over. Okay, dang. Yeah, much as I suspected. It's the Joseph Parker on 6. The question was, who wins, Joseph Parker or Derek Chisora? And the poll result is Joseph Parker at 67% and Derek Chisora at 33%. It's like exactly 1/3. 2/3 believe Parker will win, of which I am one, and 1/3 believes that Chisora will win. I hope Chisora wins because he won the first time. They gave it to Parker. I hope Chisora gets it the second time, but I can't see it. He's another year older, and Parker is another year wiser. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, one and all. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. And I'm out. We're out. Blessed.